Maybe I'm trying to put together an award-winning travel show here, and you just messed up my entire set. Okay, couldn't the food wait for like 30 minutes? There's nobody here but you.
No. I have so many work.
Okay, well, thank you very much for interrupting my set. My gosh, it took me forever to set everything up. She's not the least bit concerned. Ladies, you want to know how to get your husband to buy you a brand new leather purse? I'm going to explain it to you in this video. It's easy as 2 steps. 2 steps and you'll have your husband ordering you a brand new purse. I almost guarantee it. But there's nothing in life that's guaranteed. So watch this video and find out how you can motivate your husband to buy you a new purse. It's gonna be a win-win for everybody. So they say marriage is about compromise, right? Well, that's what you're gonna have to do in this situation to get yourself a new purse. Because what it's gonna involve is basically motivating your husband to buy himself a new briefcase. But it's compromise. For him to buy himself a new briefcase, he's got to buy you a new purse. But it's all placed in one order from one company in good quality goods. And that's what's going to pull the trigger. If you just go to your husband, ladies, and you say, hey, buy me a new Louis Vuitton purse, there's no motivation in it. He's not motivated about doing anything like that. Why would anybody want to do that? Men don't know crap about fashion. All we do is we look at functionality and price. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. So just stick with me through the video. And I'm going to show you how you get this by talking him into buying this, or vice versa. It goes either way. Okay, men, if you want this and you're looking for approval / permission / backing / buy-in from your wife, you've got to get her to buy into this, or she'll give you the green light to buy this. That's what I'm going to talk about. And I'm probably going to move this talk indoors, because right now I'm standing here in the Philippines, a noisy place. You know, between the dogs barking, birds chirping, loud trikes. I'm probably going to move this talk indoors. Okay, but stay with me in this video, and I might just help your marriage out a little bit. Oh yeah, you look beautiful. Let me showcase your beauty. Showcase your beauty. Okay, folks, so I moved my talk indoors here, so it's a little bit more quiet. I'm currently here in the Philippines, very noisy with the trikes, kids running around. Of course, my kids are some of the noisiest in the neighborhood. I'm not complaining. But between the roosters and the dogs barking, it's better for me to move inside, because I'm going to have a long talk with you. And it's not just about trying to sell a product. It's about how to make a family heirloom. It's about the fact that I'm sort of on my own mission to get away from the fast fashion of all this cheap junk that's made in China, that's made out of some type of petroleum-based product that's going to end up in a landfill. And so this is one product that I stand behind, I cherish, and I don't mind promoting. You know, I'm not going to stand up here and promote any junk. That's not what I'm into. But these are some products. This one right here I've had for coming up on 10 years. This briefcase right here, it's like brand new. Oh, I haven't carried this thing every day, but it wouldn't matter if I did or not. It's probably seen about, I say 30% use. But the last product I had was the Indiana gear bag. It was made out of that wax canvas. I carried that thing every day before I handed it on to my son. Now I assume he's carrying it every day. Like brand new. Put a little wax on it, it'll look like it's brand new. And matter of fact, I never waxed that thing. It just still keeps motoring on. This particular bag right here has really never seen any use. And I'll go into this when I talk about family heirlooms. But the purpose of this video is I went back and I read this article that I wrote. You know, I've been doing this for so long, I forget about things that I've either written or videos I've made. I mean, I'm a pirate that just turned 51. I can't remember everything. Just drank too many beers throughout the years. But I wrote this article when I bought my girlfriend at the time this little, what they call a clutch purse. And I don't think they make that particular model anymore. But it was the cutest little purse, and I did a review on it. It fit her perfectly. She was a short Filipina. So that little small purse fit her perfect with her frame. And so I wrote an article about it. And I was just looking at my website and came across this article, and I said, you know what? It's a perfect video to do. How to get your husband to buy you a purse, or how to get your wife to sign off if you're one of those types of guys. You know, got to get your wife's buy-in to make a big ticket purchase. I get it. I'm not that type of guy, but I'm going to help you out if you are. So I'm going to sit here and I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it. Folks, I don't write scripts here. I've never written scripts. Obviously, you can tell this video is not scripted. But I'm going to read this blog post that I wrote, I don't know, 2016. I can't tell the exact date because I did some rearranging, but it's prior to 2017. I know I got this bag in 2015. So I think this purse and the purse I'm speaking of came around 2017. Why is a man writing a review on a woman's purse? It's because I'm just that good and I know everything about fashion. Dolce and Gabbana often call me for advice. Okay, so not really on those points. I decided to write the review myself because buying the Saddleback leather clutch purse turned out to be a good investment. I really like the way it looks on my old lady, which is my loving term for my girlfriend. I'm from the South. That's the way we talk. It's not meant any disrespect. That's what I refer to she's my old lady, right? That means wife, girlfriend, what have you. I really like the way it looks on my old lady when we're out and about. She loves the purse and carries it everywhere we go. Most reviews contain the what about a particular product. I'm going to buck the system and focus on the why. The why instead of the what. So ladies first. Ladies, be prepared to get real jealous. As a matter of fact, you'll probably want to project some anger and hostility toward your husband or boyfriend after you read my article and view the photos. Why? Because if you're reading this review, it could mean that you do not already have the clutch purse that I bought for my girlfriend. And let me offer my sincerest condolences to you. I'm very sorry to hear that. I'll also apologize on behalf of your husband or boyfriend for putting you in this heinous predicament. Not to rub it in, but my girl already has a clutch purse. Sometimes men just don't realize how important you are to them. It's not entirely their fault though. Fashion is not a strong point of most guys. The majority of males are about durability, function, and utility. Don't worry, because these points are going to end up working in your favor. Okay, ladies, here's how to get your husband to buy you a new purse in 2 steps. Okay, so first, follow my instructions carefully, and you'll just be waiting by the door for the UPS truck. 2-step process. Step number 1. Start by discussing the craftsmanship and durability of the purse over a good home-cooked dinner. I mean, you got to put your husband in a good mood, right? Just start talking about the durability. Let him know it's made with full-grain leather, copper rivets, and stainless steel. Tell him that it even comes with a 100-year warranty. Now some of y'all might not believe that, but it does. These two bags right here have a 100-year warranty on them. Some of their products have a 41-year warranty, I do believe, but these products here have a 100-year warranty. So I've had this for almost 10 years, so this has got 91 years left on the warranty right now. My goodness, how can you beat that? All right, so inform your husband that the owner of the company is a cool guy who was flat broke when he started the business. Now, I'm not making this up. I read the story on their website, right? Everybody loves a rags to riches story. He was living down in Juarez, Mexico. Juarez is a very interesting place. That's going to perk your husband's attention when you say, hey, this dude was flat broke living in Juarez. Now, this is, what, 20 years ago, folks. Obviously, it's not that situation now, but this is the story that has been told by the owner himself on the website. So already my interest is piqued. You know, American guy broke living down in Juarez. I want to hear the rest of the story. With nothing but his dog named Blue and an old Toyota Land Cruiser. How does this get more interesting? Broke, living in Juarez, got a dog and a Land Cruiser. Man, it makes me want, my goodness, what a great life. That will pique your husband's interest, I promise. When a man hears keywords such as leather, copper rivets, broke, Mexico, dog, and Land Cruiser, it's as if a fire alarm went off inside his head. He will set up and pay attention. Now, to summarize all that, you can't just go in and say, buy me a purse. In this day and age, that's not going to work. You're not going to hold anybody's attention. You got to tell a story to sell a product. You got to tell a story, pique somebody's interest, get them interested in your project. And ladies, what's your project? Is to get a new purse. You got to get buy-in. You got to get your husband on board. Step 2. After dinner, put a cold beer by the computer and pull up the following web page. And there's 2 that you could go to, either the classic briefcase or the flight bag. Now, the classic briefcase has been around since it was the first bag. But the flight bag, which has come onto the scene in a few years, I think it might be the best seller. I don't know. I can't speak for their statistics. I don't know. All I know is it's a cool bag. I almost pulled the trigger on it when it first came out, and I didn't, and I'm wishing that I had. I'm really wishing that I had, because these bags aren't cheap. I'm not going to try to convince you that they're cheap, but they are cheap when you compare the quality of leather. So everything is relative, right? Are these, quote, cheap? Absolutely not. Are they expensive? Well, it's very subjective. But if you try to go to these higher, I don't want to say higher, but just different name brand, the expensive brands, these bags are going to be 3-4 times what these cost, and they're not going to be as high a quality. So I bring that up. These things are like Harleys. They're going to hold their value in several ways. Either one, you could probably resell them, recoup a good part of your money for what you paid for them, but B, it's the fact they're going to last. So this bag is 9 years old. The damn thing is still like brand new. I don't remember exactly what I paid for it, but if you want to look at it like this, 9 years later, I basically have a brand new bag that's going to last for another 100 years. So divide what I paid by 9 years. Next year, divide it by 10 years. All of a sudden, how much are you paying per year to carry around the best quality of bag that's never going to end up in a landfill? That's the way that I look at it. So I should have pulled the trigger and bought that flight bag. It's just an absolute beautiful bag. It's bigger than this one here is called a thin briefcase. They don't make this exact model anymore. They make one, well, 2 different, very similar. One's got front pockets on it, looks real nice. But if you need a bigger bag, a medium-sized bag for my men friends, my male friends, definitely take a look at that flight bag. And of course, ladies, it'll be a good briefcase for you as well. But the purpose of this video is talking about buying purses. All right. So you pull up that web page on the guy's laptop if you have his password, which a lot of you women do. You snoop your husband's computer or laptop. Pull it up and just leave it open with a beer. So when the guy sits down and grabs his beer, he looks and he's staring at a new briefcase. Okay? You see where I'm going with this? You're setting conditions to get this guy or this gal to pull the trigger and buy themselves a bag. And oh, by the way, your bag is already in the cart. And you're going to get a new purse sort of as a residual effect. So that's it. There's no need for any more dialogue at this point in the game. Just sit back and let nature run its course. One sip of that beer and a quick glance at the computer screen is all it takes. Your husband will want a new briefcase so bad that he'll order your purse as an excuse to get the briefcase for himself. You're using psychology against that person to make a purchase. But it's a purchase that you're gonna be happy about. You're not gonna have buyer's remorse buying these products. So, is that playing dirty pool? Absolutely. Hey, do you want to get the purse or not? Do you want the purse or don't you? Of course you do. Voila, your new purse is on the way. See how easy that was? If you don't use this upfront method of attack, your husband may end up ordering a bag behind your back. You'll get left out in the cold. And men, same way. If you don't collaborate and compromise and get together with your wife, she may just order herself a purse after watching this video and you get nothing. You want to make sure that when she puts that bag in the cart, you're like, whoa, before you type in that credit card info, you put something in the cart as well. All right. Let's see. Share the wealth. Encourage him to buy a bag as well, a new briefcase, and everybody wins. So that's the message for the ladies. That's a big, long message. But that's the message for the ladies. Now, for my fellow man. Man, I want you to check something for me. Open up your wife's purse and stick your nose in there. Take a big whiff. If it smells like vinyl, she's carrying a crappy purse made in China. You know the smell. It's the same smell as a cheap inflatable raft or blow-up crocodile you buy for an above-ground swimming pool. If the smell of her bag reminds you of your grandmother's vinyl couch cover, that's even worse. Either way, the odor, look, and feel of landfill-bound vinyl is horrible. Your poor wife has to experience that trauma at least a dozen times a day. Imagine the emotional roller coaster she finds herself on just digging for the damn car keys. And I asked Fatima to bring me one of her little cheap purses. This is some little, cheap purse that she, they're always buying new little bags and stuff. And how long do they last? They last about a week before the zipper breaks. Okay, this is actually a higher quality than usual. I'll give it that. But this zipper will break in a matter of a week or two. It's just some cheap little thing made in China, this cheap strap. And let me give it the smell test. Yep, smells like grandma's vinyl couch covers. It's just cheap junk. She likes it because it's nice and pink and all this good stuff, what have you. But this thing here will end up in the landfill probably within, I don't know, 3 months. It's definitely not going to last a year because it's going to break. All right, it's going to break at a point where you can't carry it no more. Say the strap breaks. Okay, now she can carry it around in her hand for maybe another month. Once the zipper breaks, it's useless. Okay, because it's not worth paying to fix the zipper. It's disposable. It's fast fashion. It's going to end up in the landfill. And so just a quick thought is like, how many of those little junk bags for $5, $10, $15, whatever they are, how many of those have you bought over the past 10 years that come and go? Oh, I want that. It's an impulse purchase. It's junk made in China on the shelf at Walmart. And it suffers the same fate. Whether it tears up or not, you drop it off at Goodwill, it's going to end up in a landfill or in the ocean. I mean, there's a good chance. No, it's not a good chance. It's a 100% certainty that it's not going to last. Whether it goes to the ocean or the landfill, it depends on where you're at. I guarantee you this. I think I can make one guarantee out of this video. These bags will never end up in a landfill for at least 100 years. That's a guarantee. They will not end up in the landfill. They will last long after I'm gone. I'm going to talk about that family heirloom stuff later on. But that cheap purse right there, it's not what you want your wife to be carrying around. Like I said, every time you go to get something out of there, you're smelling fumes, things off-gassing. It smells like China. You take a whiff inside these leather bags. You know what I mean? This smells like Texas. All right, let's see. What does the type of purse your wife carries subliminally say about your relationship? How does that correspond to your marriage? Well, a cheap purse stinks and it's going to break in a few months. Is that what you really think about your relationship? A saddlebag leather purse smells good and it's going to last until you die. Now ponder that for a minute. Now, I guess most marriages these days are like that cheap Chinese purse down there. They don't last very long and you end up going through several of them. I've been married 3 or 4 times, maybe 5. I lost track somewhere. Anyhow, moving right along. I was just trying to think of how many girlfriends I've went through since I had that bag right there. Several. You need to man up and get the girl a better purse. Believe it or not, that purse is a direct reflection on you. If her bag is a Walmart clearance item you bought from last Mother's Day, you're wrong. I didn't always think like this, but after many years of dealing with different women, wives, girlfriends, etc., I've learned a few things. These days, my game has stepped up a bit when it comes to my old lady. Some of y'all might find that hard to believe because we do a lot of joking here on my show. And a lot of y'all out there don't get the jokes. Apparently you never watched Married with Children, Sanford and Son, Good Times, all the good old comedies, right? You don't understand that humor. But just keep watching, maybe you'll understand one day. So, now, granted, this was back when I was with this different girl. My girl now is sporting a medium clutch purse in tobacco color. Now, I'll talk about colors later. It fits her perfect and it looks great. It's a minimal design and durable. The best part is I don't have to buy her a new purse for at least a few years. So men, we are cheap. We are cheap by nature, and we especially don't see any value in buying our old lady's an expensive purse. But there is value in it, because if you buy her a purse that looks good and is going to last, you don't have to keep buying them over and over and over like you do the cheap junk. I'm a realist, so I'm sure she'll want one in dark coffee brown at some point, or she'll want another product from Saddleback. The leather smells good. When my girl opens up that purse, I don't have to worry about any repressed memories being triggered by the stench of cheap vinyl. The purse smells like high-end quality to me. And my fellow man, here's why you should buy your wife this purse. The selfish reason. Now, this particular product at the time cost $200. That's a mere 2 Benjamins to step up your game. The joy is that you can use this purchase as a huge opportunity to get something nice for yourself. Okay? Buy your wife the new purse, nonchalantly add you a briefcase to the order. Don't hesitate. It may be slightly top-sided as far as the money spent, but don't worry. Because admittedly, this bag is a lot cheaper than my briefcase. When the box gets there, she'll be too busy with the new purse to gripe about the fact you spent twice as much on your bag as hers. It is what it is. So in the end, you're both happy about the whole situation. And it makes for a great story about how you acquired these bags, right? You can tell the story. You're gonna go into work with a new briefcase. Damn, man, where'd you get that briefcase? How much was it? A lot of you guys are gonna say, damn, how'd your wife let you spend that much money? Well, you're never gonna believe this, man. She wanted that purse and blah, blah, blah. Tell the story. People will listen to you. It's interesting. So here's her story. This is the wife's story if she encouraged you to get a new briefcase. This is what she's going to tell her friends. I tricked my husband into buying me this new purse. It was easy. I read the article that some guy wrote who tells you exactly how to do it. All I had to do was put a beer next to the computer with the web page open about this flight bag. It's made by the same company that makes that purse I want. Old Bill ordered that darn briefcase right then and there and threw my purse in with no questions asked. I couldn't believe it. Psychology, reverse psychology on old Bill. Now here's her story to her buddies if she didn't want you to spend the extra money on your expensive briefcase. I can't believe my husband. I talked him into ordering me a new purse that cost $200. When the UPS man delivered the box, it seemed a bit big for a small purse. I opened it up and found out that Bill had ordered a briefcase for himself. It cost over $600. He's sneaky. But how can I complain? I guess I started the whole thing in the first place. That's okay because I've got my eye on another purse. He don't know it, but he's going to get me that one for Christmas too. Now here's a man's story, right? You gotta defend yourself among your friends. Why you bought your wife a big old expensive purse? I got my wife good this time. She kept pressuring me to buy her a new purse that cost $200. I said, okay, no problem. When I placed the order, I threw in an $845 briefcase for myself. Ha! You mess with the bull, you get the horn. Man, I love this briefcase. I'm glad she turned me on to that, but I can't tell her so. So there you go. That's my story, right? That's the story of how you can get your spouse to buy into buying, well, both of you, an outstanding product that's going to last. Now let's talk about the other reason I like these products. Why do I keep promoting them? When I left the West, when I left the United States, I gave away everything that I had. At the time, I was married to a Thai girl. I made the decision to move to Thailand. And it took me about 2 years to give away everything that I had in a 4-bedroom house. I was like the average American, 4-bedroom house in the suburbs. Chock full of stuff that I just kept stuffing in there, Imagine how long it would take you to liquidate all of your material belongings. It's a lot harder than you think that it's going to be. Now, I'm not a salesman. I'm not a good salesman. I've never, considered myself to be a salesman. I don't know nothing about sales. So at the time, over a 2-year period, I just gave all of my stuff away. To the point where I had a van, so I would just like load up the living room set and pull up to a friend's house or somebody's house and just give them the furniture. Found out an ex-girlfriend needed a bed and a dresser or whatever. That was an opportunity to liquidate a bedroom. I was like, girl, don't buy nothing. I'll be there this weekend. Boom, loaded up that stuff, pulled up, delivered it. That's how I liquidated everything I owned over a 2-year period. And it took 2 years. I was working out of town, so I was having to go down there on the weekends. And you have to find places for this stuff to go. A lot of stuff went out on the curb. A lot of stuff went to Goodwill. Some stuff Goodwill wouldn't take. I mean, I guess if you really had to do it, you just back up a truck and take everything to the dump. Okay. But I had good stuff. I had decent stuff like any other, the average American. And so I gave everything away. I did sell my guns at a discounted rate to some friends, basically to put them in good hands. But everything else got given away. People thought I was about to, do something crazy. I'm like, look, I'm not crazy. I'm just moving. I can't take this with me. I'm not coming back. I don't want to pay for a storage locker. So here you go. Here's $1,000 worth of free, free bed and dresser and everything. So I didn't really have anything to pass on as a family heirloom. I got, a watch from my grandfather that I'll pass on to my son here. Just little small items, because when I came to Southeast Asia, when I moved to Thailand, I came with 2 suitcases and maybe a carry-on. So when I stumbled onto this company, I realized these are family heirlooms. And I'm going to walk you through these 2 bags here. All right, I bought this briefcase and I carried it. And I carried it around the world several times. And then I passed it off to my father. And I said, hey man, I want you to hold on to this bag for a few years. Carry it, don't carry it, just hold on to it. And I'm going to get it back from you. And that's what I did. So this bag has been around the world with me. It traveled around the United States with my father, sit in his bedroom, whatever he did with it. And now it's back with me on this side of the world. This bag has been to more places and more countries and been more miles than most folks. So when I hand this down to my son, Forrest G, this bag will go to Forrest G. It was carried by his grandfather and his father. And it's featured in many of my videos and many of my travels. And it has stories to tell. And it'll pass to him. And when it passes on to him, it'll still be like brand new. Nothing broken, because there's no breakable parts on this bag as they advertise it, right? There's no cheap zippers to break. And he will carry that bag, this bag, and hand it on down the line. So this is one of the, what I would consider a family heirloom at this point, that I started, that will continue to be handed down. This purse right here, I bought this purse from my mother. She only carried it a few times. It's like brand new. It's absolutely like brand new. But it was in her possession for several years. And now it will be handed down to my daughter. Now obviously I didn't carry the purse, but I'm the one who bought the purse. So there's stories behind it. Do you think that she'll ever give this purse away, knowing that her grandmother carried it Her father bought it for her grandmother. Nope, that bag ain't never going to the landfill. And whether they carry it or not, or just sit it around and look at it, you know, I hope they carry it. Just use it. You're not going to hurt it. It's not like something that has to sit on a shelf or be carried around like a grandfather clock. My goodness, how many people have broke their backs and had to move grandfather clocks around every time they move? The damn things don't even work because they're a family heirloom. And then they just fall apart at some point. Those are family heirlooms that, well, I guess if the clock works, it's functional, but a lot of them don't. A lot of family heirlooms aren't functional. And the difference is these things are functional. If you've seen any of my videos in the past, I've, for years, had an Indiana gear bag. Now, it's made by Saddleback, but it's out of a wax canvas. And definitely check out that line. I carried that thing every day, rain, through the rainy season here, riding a motorbike. Every day I carried that bag for years. It's been around the world multiple times. Last time I was in America, I handed it off to my son in America. Now it's a family heirloom. And the thing about it, it's functional. He can carry that thing every day. He's not going to tear it up. And so decades on down the line, he can hand it down to his son, who can keep handing it down. Why? It's a family heirloom. Grandpa bought that back in 2015. No, I think I got that in 2016. Yeah, I got all that stuff written down on my website. Videos. There's stories behind it. And those are among the very few items that I have in my possession. And the reason I have them, functionality, and there's something I can pass on to my kids. Obviously, the affiliate link is down in the description. I'll put two links. I'll put one link to the flight bag, which I think is going to appeal to about 99% of my male friends out there. And then I'll put a link to the section of the website that deals with ladies' purses for you ladies out there to browse. Now, I'm not telling you what to buy. The briefcases, whatever, they work well for anybody. But if you're looking for the purses and types, I'll put that link to the purse section where you can browse some of those purses. And then, men, I'll put a direct link to that flight bag. Just check that out. If you're looking at something, maybe I'm going to do a separate video maybe about the colors. The color, once you decide on a bag, I'll tell you the problem. There is one dilemma that will put you in analysis paralysis if you're going to order one of their products. It's the color. Which color to go with. Now, this is a thin briefcase. Again, they don't make this exact thing or this exact model anymore, something very similar. But this is what's called carbon black. It's like a flat black. The black that they make these days is more like a shiny black, and that's the one color I don't like. But they make it because if you work for an organization or you're in the military and your bag has to be black, well, that's what you're going to go with, right? But anybody else who doesn't have that as policy that you have to have that shiny black bag, occasionally if they make the carbon, if you can find something in carbon, it's like sort of like Harley. I hate to use the word Harley after what's been going on with them recently. Or did they recover from that? I don't know. Their marketing issues. The carbon black is awesome. It's like a flat black. It's more like a biker type. And this is a version of the tobacco. Now, throughout the years, when you order the tobacco, it'll come in different shades. Okay, so if you look at a picture on the website and it's a certain shade and then your bag shows up and it's a different shade, hey, that's just how the cookie crumbles. All right, no two cows are exactly the same. The dye is not exactly the same. So the tobacco, which is probably the most popular, it does come from time to time throughout the years in different shades, okay? But then you've got the dark coffee brown and the chestnut. The chestnut for me is like bankers. Like if you're a banker, you probably want to go with the chestnut. And the dark coffee brown is like more luxury. You know, like if you walked into a wine bar. And, you know, I did a big section on the website about what color to go with. But once you decide on the bag, oh my gosh, you're going to have analysis paralysis trying to figure out what color fits your style. Which, you know, because it's a long-term investment, it's not a cheap bag. You're going to keep it for a long time. You will sit there and think about what color to go with. And I think I looked at this bag for 3 months. 3 months before I said, you know what, I'm going with that carbon black. Because it was carbon. Now, if it was a shiny, well, I narrowed it down to the tobacco or the carbon. And I went with the carbon. I'm glad I did, because that's not a color that you can just go back and get anytime. It's like special runs, they get that carbon color. Anyhow, folks, thanks for listening. Big long talk here. Talking about my little family heirlooms and products that I stand behind. And they're designed in Texas and their factories down in old Mexico. Ain't nothing made in China. And that's another great thing about it. And the company, the gentleman and his wife who own the company, they're big into charitable causes and everything. Go check out their website. Read the guy's story. It's an interesting dude. They make damn good products. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Again, check out them affiliate links. If you buy something, I take a commission, and I certainly appreciate it. But what's good about these things is that these products sell themselves. Because I ain't no salesman. I don't know shit about sales, to be honest with you. But when you got a product that sells itself, that everybody wants automatically, if you just put them on the page, you don't got to be a salesman. You just got to tell the story. All right, I'm out of here, folks. Oh, damn. About knocked over my coffee. My throat was getting dry, all this talking I've been doing. Running my mouth. I had some coffee down there. Oh, that's pretty good too. All right, I'm out of here. See y'all on the next one. Peace out.